Hi everyone. Today I'll be talking about mastering the art of job search strategies for success. So job searching and strategies for success. So my name is Ismael Ramirez. I'm one of the ECS career counseling interns here at Sacramento State. And yeah, excited to be with you all. So a little bit about job search strategies. So it's important to have a strategy. To be effective job searching, having an effective job search strategy saves time and energy in the long run. Um, it increases the chances of finding the right fit for you and your skill sets and your knowledge base. And it helps build confidence in throughout the application process and the job search process. So it is important to have the right strategy. If you're just aimlessly applying to many, many positions, but not really taking the time to really look into it and researching the companies you're applying for, it might not be as effective as if you spent quality time and researching the company and seeing if that's a right fit for you, and also tailoring your resumes or cover letters or whatever the case may be to that job. Um, so first, I want to kind of ask a question. What part of the job search are you struggling with? So spend some time to think about that. Where in that job search strategies throughout the whole process are you struggling with or can't seem to get moved to the next step of the job search? Is it the resumes? Is it the interview? Things like that. What part of it are you struggling with? You want to set clear goals and objectives. So SMART goals, if you haven't heard of SMART goals before, it's an acronym. The S stands for specific, the M for measurable, the A for attainable, the R is relevant, and T is timely. But this identifies industries and roles and companies of interest for you. You want to set realistic short-term and long-term goals and understand your strengths and skills for what you're looking for and what your goals are. Again, you want it to be specific and measurable. Try to do that in the short and long term. You want to also be realistic and attainable. How attainable can it be? How feasible is it? And make it relevant and make it timely. So you want to I would say write that out, right? Write that out, put it like somewhere, just keep it somewhere where you can always see it, maybe even daily see it, saying, okay, my goal was to apply to 10 jobs this month, and I've only applied to one, and it's almost the end of the month, right? You don't want that to happen because then you get stressed that you haven't met that goal. But if you always consistently see it, and then throughout the month you might apply to one job, or throughout the month you might apply and maybe even apply to more jobs because you're seeing it and you're like, oh, I have time to, I have a 30 minutes to an hour to of free time. I can maybe work on my goal. So you want to build a strong resume and cover letter. I'll go more into detail on the resume building in a separate video. But again, you want to tailor your resume for each job, highlight your achievements with quantifiable results, and personalize your cover letters to the job and the company. Make a meeting with a career counselor if you want to work on your resume or cover letter. Just this is an example of a resume. Utilize your resources, right? If you have LinkedIn, be active on LinkedIn, have a strong LinkedIn profile, upload your completed resume, your updated resume to LinkedIn. Connect with people in people that you know, professors, employers, alumni. Look at company websites, right? And you can see people that work in those. Sometimes they'll post who works there, and see if you can find them on LinkedIn and connect with them and ask and see if you can make a connection with that. Join industry-specific forums and groups, right? Those always are helpful. That community of, let's say, civil engineers in Sacramento, they have a forum or group on LinkedIn or something like that, maybe Facebook, and they might say, "Oh, this new firm is looking for a civil engineer. If anyone's interested," things like that. And set up job alerts for targeted searches. You can also use Handshake. And Handshake is specific for Sacramento State alumni or alumni and students, and they're looking for Sacramento State alumni and students. So it's very tailored for Sacramento State because they are requesting to be on Handshake for Sacramento State students. Some of the resources are SacState Career Network, Labor Market Insights, which shows you the different job market trends for different jobs. Focus to Career is also the similar, and it also looks at your skill sets, California Career Zone, things like that. Again, for during the interview, do your homework before an interview. Research the company. Stay informed of what's going on in the news with the company. What is the company doing? Are they doing any new initiatives, right? Gain some employee insights if you know anyone in the company. Talk with them about it. See what the culture is. Study the job description, which is important to see. Really study, read the whole thing, see what it is they're asking of a potential candidate. You want to prepare answers to common interview questions, right? So, and I went more in detail in a separate video regarding interview questions, but this is the general gist of interviews, behavioral questions that they give. So you can see a lot of the times questions will be behavioral. These are the typical questions people ask, but sometimes they may have some more technical questions. But most of the time, a lot of employers ask these behavioral common interview questions. And in my separate video for interview skills, I go more in detail about this. Here's the STAR method. Again, in the interview video, I go more in detail regarding the STAR method, but this is what the STAR method stands for: the situation, task, action, and result. It makes you focused on these behavioral questions to be able to really just tell one singular story and go from there. And just it keeps you focused and not too rambled on with the question. Okay, so networking. I want you to think, what is your preferred method approach when wanting to network with someone? Think of the setting. Is it online, in person? Is it at a networking event, or is it not? How did you approach them, or how would you imagine yourself approaching them? Right? So let's spend some time to think about it. You can pause this video and then we can go from there. So I hope you paused that video, maybe had spent some time to think about it. So here are some ways to build your professional network. You can attend networking events and job fairs. So career fairs are networking events. That's what a big skill of it is for, or what a big part of the career fair is the networking, right? You can go to conferences specific to your major. That's a networking event. Informational interviews with industry professionals. We at ECS offer those. Meet the employers and info sessions. Go to those. Go to those and learn about different industries. You might find some interest maybe in an industry you did not think before um, you had an interest in. Engage with alumni or other professional groups, definitely on LinkedIn. If you have a way to with the alumni, you can say, "Oh, we're both went to Sacramento State. Did you ever take this professor or this class?" Right? That's one way to start a conversation. And join professional organizations and associations. They always post different conferences, different news articles, things in the news, things. And that's a great way for you to also build your professional network as well. Here's some professional groups on LinkedIn, right? Some software engineers, general AI and analytics, data scientists, software, some more groups, mechanical engineering, design, electrical. You can find these groups on LinkedIn. You can also look on Facebook, other groups like that. But you can definitely join and learn more, connect with people in the world that are interested in this field in this topic. When you're preparing for interviews, right? Once you did the research, you applied, and then let's say you got an interview, right? You want to make sure, again, research the company and the role thoroughly, practice those common interview questions, dress appropriately, and follow up after interviews. You want to do all of those things. I go into more detail in the interview video. But you also want to maintain a job application tracker. So you want to keep yourself organized on the different jobs you apply to. If you're applying to many jobs, you might want to apply to or keep yourself accountable using an Excel spreadsheet, right? You can put, oh, this job is hiring or this job's end date to apply is this day. So set a reminder for yourself, right, to that you have to apply. Keep notes on interviews and contacts. So if you interviewed for one job, make a note tab on the spreadsheet saying, "Oh, interviewed by so and so," um, and their contact information, and you want to send a thank you note for that. Here's an example of a job application tracker. You can follow this template or whatever template that suits your preference. Here's a way you can write it. And a big part of the job search, it's a process, it's a journey. You want to always continue to strive to keep learning. So take online courses to stay competitive. Here's some courses CodePath, The Forager, Free Code Camp, especially if you're computer science, computer engineering. You want to volunteer or freelance to gain experience if a company offers it or organization. Stay updated on industry trends, right? How is AI changing the landscape of certain jobs? Read up on articles. If you join those professional networks, associations, they post a lot of industry trend articles. You can find something that you're interested in. It is recommended to get your engineering training certification once you graduate. So be sure to kind of follow those steps on how to get that. Another thing that you could maybe look into, especially if you're computer science, micro internships. Parker Dewey is a good website where you're applying to these internships, but they're very short. It could be just more of think of it as contract work. It could be anywhere from an hour to maybe a week or more of work. But you're getting paid a certain amount, and once that job is done or project's done, then that's the end of the internship. But it could be a way to build your resume as well. And you still have to apply, but if you get it one and then you can put it on, you did this as an internship or as a project, you can add to your resume. So this is a really good website, especially for computer science. It's mostly tailored for computer science, computer engineering, micro internships. The last thing is be persistent. Right? Manage rejection positively. You're always learning and growing. Seek feedback for improvement. Stay motivated and adapt strategies as needed. There is no one way, fits all. There's not gonna what works for one person may not work for the other. But it's a journey. It's a process. Um, and you want to stay motivated and adapt as best you can, especially with the changing landscape of jobs and job markets. So yeah, be persistent. So again, thank you for joining us on this. If you have any questions, you can email us at ecs.careercounseling@csus.edu. You can find our information on our website, ECS, Internship and Career Services, Sacramento State. If you have any questions and you want to speak to us in person, you can come to our office in Shannon Hall, room 1204. And yeah, well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I hope to speak with you all soon. Have a great rest of your day.